right, so welcome to the coffee break. This is the episode number 88, and thank you very much for joining. Just saying that people are in early today, so good. And as usual, there's a very open space for topics, projects that you're working on. And I did have a brief talk with Chuck the other day and I think he has some questions. So bringing it to the spot, Chuck. And but yeah, so anyone, questions, topics, feel free to open your camera, microphone, and let's go.
Yeah, I was kind of going through one of your examples that you had, and I'm still breaking it down and kind of going through it. But I don't really know how to ask the question without showing it to you. You have a session manager in there, and I'm really having a hard time figuring out where you're instantiating that.
Yeah, so
So
yeah, so let's try that. So I think that first okay, let me show this sample, and so we know what we are talking about, and I think that's
mhm.
the one, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So let me move this here because it's a bit messy. So this sample is about having a desktop application that connects to APS to get the data on your hubs and projects and eventually vigor models. What is interesting about this sample is that it was designed to explain the concept around having how to protect your credentials, right? So the main reason for this sample is to explain that there is a server in the middle. Let me move down here, that hosts all of the data and filter and sanitize the data for you, right? So in that way, the desktop application that is looking at that data, and every time that happens, right, the desktop application is considered to be insecure, meaning that if you put a secret here, that secret is not secure, right? Someone will access that eventually. So we want to hide all the confidential information on this server in the middle that will then talk to Autodesk, talk to other providers that you may have, right? So that's why the client connects to this cloud module to authenticate. And instead of getting a token, it gets a session ID, right? That here on the server, I have a database that store my token with that session. So every time the desktop requests anything, right, I use my token, I use my database to restore the token and return that to the user. And every time I request a model, right, I send, okay, I want to view this model URN, and I have a session. The server will then convert that session again to a token, go to Autodesk, get the viewables, and serve that with a proxy. So as far as this desktop application is concerned, it doesn't connect to Forge or to Autodesk at any point. It always only connects to my server in the middle to do this, right? So now, again, this is again to explain how to have the server in the middle to host all of that protected information. Now, the interesting piece is that when you deploy the application, and if you look at the source code here, right, there is a cloud and a desktop module, right? And I believe that if you look at the solution, it also explains a little bit about how it's set up. So not here. Let me move to the other piece, desktop, right? And here, right? So the desktop, there is no dependence from the desktop to that cloud module, right? Because it's not actually connected to the cloud module. It's using REST and JSON to connect to it. So the only thing that the desktop knows is about this server in the middle. Okay, I'm talking too much, but let me go back here, right? So check from what we discussed, right? I think that may be some overkill because what you are trying to do is to synchronize data to your server, right? So actually, you don't need all of that. You can have just a desktop, a server or a desktop or a service that runs locally and download the files for you. This is really to have tons of dozens, thousands, hundreds of desktop clients connecting to this server in the middle. So if you just want to download the data, you don't need this overall infrastructure. You can just have a desktop application that connects to the cloud. So that's why I was saying that that may be a little bit of an overkill, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't need the viewing capabilities and all that type of thing. I'm just looking for something, baby steps, right? How do you read the files and how do you get to those files and that type of thing? And then that's where I want to start out with, and then kind of work my way into, once I can read and get to those files, then what do I do to generate a, say a differential backup of those?
So view hubs browser. So this sample here might be more straightforward, right? So it's a web application, but again, it's okay to be a web application because you just want to download the files, right? And the application can run in the background. What is important is that it shows you how to navigate the folder structure and get to the files. And you don't want to view them. You just show how to navigate through the files. But if you're downloading multiple files, or making a local backup, right? What you really have to look at is the queuing system. So there are lots of options. I'm just showing one that is an open source .NET, because I believe you use .NET. This is a queuing system, right? So you want to have a way to find all the files on your folder and say, okay, for this file, send it to the queue and wait to be downloaded, right? Because you cannot download them in sequence. You have to find them and send them to the queue, and download one or two at a time, because you don't have bandwidth to download all of them at once, right? And if you run in sequence, if the application fails, you have to start from the beginning, right? So Hangfire is a very good, it's a good and easy option that to enqueue the jobs. Then you have a database that will keep those records, and you know that you only downloading it once. You are sure about that, right? So you have all this queuing system. So this is the important piece, in fact, right? You want to navigate through the structure, find the file that you want to download, send to the queue, and download those files later at some point in the future when it's ready.
Okay, all right. Take a look at that.
Oh, sorry. That's the one that is probably the most important when doing a long task with lots of steps, right? Having a queuing system. So that will be my biggest suggestion, right? If you do that in a sequence, it will never work. You have too many files to download.
Yeah.
Now, all of that said, right? There are applications on the App Store that can do that for you. So if you go here and say download, right? There are a few apps here that you can leverage that will download what you want and
I threw $5 at that autoloader just to see what it was doing. And it's funny, it worked fine maybe the first couple of times, and then it stopped working. It would download a couple files, but then, I'd always have, say, that third file that didn't want to download. But that's just some little cheap $5 thing that somebody made. I did try Naviate. I don't know if you've ever played with that or not. That was a nice setup.
That's just one example, right? So there are many options there. But a suggestion, right? As you said that you try this one, send that to the developer, right? So where is it? I lost it. Okay, I'll download, right? There should be a way to contact them here.
Yeah,
and send them a quick note.
I got no answer.
All right, that's not good.
No, it's not good. So, but Naviate works really well. But where's the fun in that, right? So,
yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, the download is not something new, right? There are apps there, and again, downloading lots and lots of files. What you really have to pay attention is having a queue to manage that. Otherwise, it doesn't work, right? Okay. You need a queuing system.
All right.
All right, cool.
Thank you, Gusto.
I see there is a question from Sandeep as well. Been working with Breaking Clash data from BIM360 API. Get resources, request, response to not align with the structure of line documentation. All right. So you're saying that the response you get is not what is documented, right?
Yes, right. I can show you if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Let me share my screen.
Yes, you can. You should be able to.
Yes, yes, yes. So let me know once the screen is visible.
Yeah, we can see it. So
Okay. So this is my Postman setup that I did, and that is the URL that I hit. I hit it before I downloaded the response. So this is the URL that I used as per that documentation that you have given here, like this and this. Okay. So this request I raised, and I got that one, and I saved it here and then opened it. So this is the response. So as per the documentation, like this is the first file, like this is the clash ID. Okay. So this is 0 and 6. This is the object ID has to be inside that second document, like this. Like it has to be like here somewhere as per the document, but it is not the same. Like you can see here, like it is the first file ID. I match the ID and it is matching. But when I'm going to clash 482.136 has to be in the file like as the documented is saying hello ID 482 and sorry 136 ROID 136. But if I go in that document, I didn't find that thing. You got my point, like what I'm saying.
yeah, yes. So model coordination, working clash results. Um, can you show me again the documentation page?
Yeah, this is I will provide you the
Oh,
link.
that's the tutorial, right? So which tutorial is that?
So I will give you the link in the chat.
Okay.
So you can also read it properly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one.
Okay. Thank you.
Like I tried with the Revit file also and with the NWC file also. I'm getting the same problem with the both.
Okay, so the clash result, the file that you download, the JSON, it's not as it described in the image. Okay, so okay, we have this recorded here. So I'll check with the responsible team for it. I don't think anyone from that team is here today. Let me see who's here. Yeah, probably have to check with that team to see what is missing there and why that's not documented. But yeah.
Yes, yes, right. Like I tried with the different one file, but the response is same. Like I think I made like 0 and 6 has to be here. Like 0 has to be here and the 6 has to be here as per the document. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Mm. And one more like this question that you will check and will you revert to me?
Sorry, say again.
If how can I get the like answer for that question? Like you saying like you will check with your team.
Yeah, so I was just okay. So the best way here is if you haven't done it yet, report it to the APS help. So I
Okay,
can have
just give
that
me the
on.
email ID. Yeah, like I send a mail to some Autodesk person here, like amitaman@autodesk.com. If you have
Okay.
any email ID that I need to
Yes.
mention, please
Forward that to aps.help@autodesk.com. So that same email there, but to aps.help.
forge
APS, no, just aps.help
aps dot help.
at autodesk.com.
Okay, I will send the same mail to them also.
Yeah. So that's the API support. Anything that is API related,
Okay,
that's the best route.
okay. aps dot help. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, I think so. I will just mail them.
And you send that to Amit Aman, right? Okay. I'll check with him as well.
Amit
But
dot Aman.
I don't think, I don't know where Amit is from. Amit. Okay. I think he's Amit is more on the product side. But anyway, on the product support side. So send that as you have that right there. with the attachments, and we'll review that.
Okay, I will send this mail.
Thank you.
And then one more, yeah, and one more question, like, is this a possible thing? Like, can we upload some files from the BIM 360 storage to a bucket directly without downloading them?
No. Simple answer, no.
Okay.
So the files that are on the ACC or no in docs in general, right, are if you want to move them to a different location, you have to download and upload there, right? Now you don't have to do it on your machine, of course, right? You can have a service if you're working to create an app for it, right? You can just have something that streams from one to the other, but you still have to download and upload on your stream, right? But yeah, you have to get the bytes from one and send to the other.
Okay, means we have to download. There is no way to directly upload from one way to other way.
No, sorry. The only thing that you can do is to, inside ACC, inside docs, right, copy from one folder to the other, but not.
That is a yeah. Okay. And then one more question is like I was working with the model derivative API. So I saw a thing like when I was just working with the API, like the published view from the Revit are coming in the model derivatives here. Like if I go,
So the model derivative will extract all the view, all the
yeah, actually it is not
yeah.
extracting all the 3D views and 2D views. Those views which are published from the Revit or the BIM 360, only those view I can see in the model derivative API.
Yes, that's
But what
correct.
about
Only
the
the published views. Yes,
okay, only published view, non-published view we cannot see.
it will not be extracted, right? So yeah, only the published views, and we create one extra view called master view, which has all the elements, but that's not a view that you define, right? It's just we create a new view with all the elements and expose that as well.
Okay, so the model derivative automatically create a view and create some things, one 3D view in which all the things will be there.
So if you have a Revit file, it will have all the published views plus the default 3D view plus a master view that contains all the elements. That's it. So published views, 3D views, and master view.
Okay, and what about if we have a local file? Like in the BIM system we have publishing, but in the local file this option is not available and not make sense.
So if you are working with work shared modules, you have to publish the
Yeah.
module before to create a new version, right? Once you publish the module, that will create a new version in ACC that will then extract the viewables.
No, but we are working on the local, like we haven't uploaded those files on the BIM 360. They're on our local machines. We are using an internal server.
Okay,
Then
then
how we can control
yeah,
that?
inside Revit you open Revit and select the views to publish.
Okay, so means we can publish locally also.
I'm not sure what you mean by local views.
Local means like the file is only on our system or on our internal server and not connected to internet. We are internally just created a server where we are using that, like created a central file someone is using.
Yeah,
Or
so
maybe the only one user is working at a time.
yeah, so the you select them locally, right? But you have to either upload to BIM 360 to ACC or use the API to translate them.
No, but if I go to this way, like translate a source, yeah, like this way, here it is shown. Like it is
Mm-hmm.
saying upload a source file to us first, then they will translate. Like there is a local file that we are uploaded here.
Yeah,
Like if I go to sample file here, just go.
yeah, you have to upload to OSS, right?
Yeah. So when we are translating, then how those view are getting translated, like how the API is deciding like which view to translate in SVF format on and to get
Okay,
the data.
can I show you something quickly?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. What I mean by published views is this feature here in Revit, right? Select views and sheets to publish to the cloud, right? So inside Revit, there is a collaboration tab, manage model panels, and publish settings, right? You're just
Right,
selecting
right.
which views will be published, right? So once you upload either to ACC or to OSS, the views that are selected here will be translated.
Okay, so means we have to make this setting in our local also.
Yes.
Got it, got it.
Yeah, let me share you this link. So this is, when I say publish in Revit, I'm referring to select which views to publish, right? So that's the Revit feature to select which views you want to publish. And that's the feature there.
Okay, it will, but
So
one thing
I
like
think,
where is this
yeah. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
you said in the manage which tab I have to select?
Yeah, there is a link there on the chat window with
Okay, okay,
step by
sorry,
step.
sorry, sorry. Okay, so the one more question, yeah, like if anyone has question, like they can ask. Like I have two more.
So Sandeep, just so you know, right? You can there is this APS help that you don't have to, once you have more questions in the future, right? You can always forward to APS help. The team will be able to support you as well. But just so you know that after here, no, anyway. So you said you have a few more, right? But others as well. I'm always interested in what people are working with. Right?
I think I can continue if no one has the question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I have joined the beta program for the AEC data model,
Mm-hmm.
but still I'm not able to see the design data for the files. Like I uploaded the Revit 2024 files on my hub, and I think I have mailed and that form that we need to sign in. Some link was there, and we need to just give our consent and just provide hub IDs and some details. I provided those all the details, but still I'm not able to use that AEC data model beta program.
Did they confirm to you that they allowed your hub? Because there is a internal process we have to do to allow list your hub.
So how do I know? Like I didn't get any response, but I get a mail yesterday. I what was the mail?
Okay. So may I suggest then that you go back on the forum and ask that there is on the feedback portal, there is a forum where you can post your question. So post the question there because that team is the one that can allow you to use the data models.
Okay, so can I have the link for that feedback form?
Yeah, sure. Feedback.autodesk.com.
Okay, feedback to autodesk.com.
Feedback.autodesk.com.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, that's all for, from my side.
So yeah, so I'm curious, how did you find out about this coffee break? Because I think you're not using this APS support yet, but I was just curious.
I was known or like I joined the October boot camp and I just figured out searching everywhere, whatever there is APS tag, I just seeing it like what is it, coffee break, boot camp,
Hmm.
search each and everything related to APS and I joined each and every coffee break. Sometimes I didn't join,
Okay.
but not, like I just today I saw like I need to join and ask some question.
Yeah. All right.
Because in
Cool.
my organization, I'm the only person who's working on that APS and my manager is saying like do this and do this.
Yeah. Always some requests, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Welcome. All right, what else is going on? So in case you are not aware, we have some events as well. Accelerators coming up, Boston, Bangalore, Munich, London. So it's Accelerator is a week-long hackathon, kind of. So if you want to work with your project, have some real-time support, there is one online as well, coming in 2 weeks, but on site as well. So if you live close to one of those locations, that's your chance to meet the team. So it's good to have some
So they are
offline time.
so they are in-person sessions, right?
Yes. So the accelerator is in person and week long, right? So during that week, you come to our office and work on your project, and our team will be there to help you answer your questions, work with you on that project during that week. So it's an intense week to
So
get your prototype running.
does it cost to anything to us?
No, the registration is free. You have to cover just your travel and living expenses, right? But no, just come to the office on that week, but you have to register for it.
Okay, then we can come to your office and just work there for a week, and your team
Yes,
will be helping us.
yes, that's it, that easy.
Okay, okay.
Do you live anywhere close to one of those locations?
Not Bangalore is in India, but I live in Delhi, and it's
Oh,
far
okay.
from here. I need to arrange something like.
Yeah. So the next one is online only, and the others will be on site. For those on site, we usually have a online as well. So, but this February is online only, right? And then will be on site and virtual.
Okay.
Right. Any other questions or topics? I think one interesting blog that came up this week, I always like to show some of the interesting blogs. This one here, it's quite interesting, right? You use the viewer to navigate through the systems. It's not, as I understand, it's not like bulletproof perfect, but it's you can get a lot of data. You can get the system data in the modules. Where is it? Yeah, the system data comes as part of the elements. So there is a way to extract them and use that to navigate between on a system, mechanical, air supply. It's quite powerful. Thing that you can do it in the viewer and know JavaScript to extract that information. But that one was worth sharing. Okay, then. Any other topics? Last minute.
Like I was trying to extract the data for the title block family from the Revit. Like I was able to extract the data like that is a viewport level 1, level 2, and the elements inside it. But I was not able to extract the data like drawn by, checked by, and the dates which are on the title block side. How can I get those data using any API? Basically?
So I think the title block, you can only get the text on it, right?
No, not even text I was able to get.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I tried by
Hmm.
searching keyword drawn by, checked by, I was not able to get. Like if I can show you my screen.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know for sure, right? So would you mind sending that to the APS help alias? Because then they'll be able to help you better.
Okay, like if I say like this is the view, so I was
Mm-hmm.
able to get that detail, scale, and the view name, and those three, and the details of those element also I will be able to get, but not those details like node and
Yeah.
towers, like this project name checked by, and like here is a
That.
beta parameter you can see approved by, designed by, checked by.
Yeah.
Those things I was not able to get. Is there
So
a way like
I
how can
suspect that would be on the view properties, not as an element in the view. So once you go into
I think I think there's a difference between the sheet and the title block, and you have to go from one to another using the ID in order to obtain that information. I can't remember which is which at this point, but there's a link between the two. It's not obvious, but it's the same in the Revit API, I think.
Interesting. Yeah. So Sandeep, if you can send that to the APS help, then the team can definitely help. I think I recall vaguely looking at that a while back, but I don't recall exactly right now. But yeah, I believe the information is on the view, not on the element, not in the elements of the view. So yeah, please send that to the support on APS help.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So with that, let me close this out. Again, as usual, the next coffee break will be same link, same time, 2 weeks from now on February 21st. And yeah, thank you very much for joining today. And hope to see you in 2 weeks. Same link, 8 a.m. And I will post the recording as usual as well. Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Thank you, Augusto. See you in 2.
Bye.
Bye.